y'all step into my church. Can I preach a little bit? I say, life coming for a circle. The devil, he can't hurt you. What's something outside of your profession that y'all like to do? I don't like the word hobbies, right? Because I feel like that's a waste of time, right? Because everything that you do is directly correlated into what you do, right? So it's not a such thing to me as a hobby. That's wasting time. I try to stay extremely efficient with my time. But like, what's something that y'all do that maybe somebody won't know, and why do you do it? And like, what's your mental approach when you're doing those other things?
Talking about activity-wise?
Yeah, it can be whatever.
Well, for those who don't know, some know, I'm big into martial arts. Hence the name black belt baseball or black belt, but it's therapeutic for me, and it just correlates to life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what style of martial arts do you do?
Jiu-jitsu, boxing.
I did Shurigoju Kempo growing up. I went all the way up to green belt.
You said you had a Shirley Temple growing up? I'm just joking.
But you and your dad are But yeah, I went all the way up to the green belt when I did martial arts. It's fun.
What do y'all think that builds, like, from doing that? Do you think that helped you in sports or you owning a business?
100%. Wrestling, 100%. Like, I tell people, wrestling to me, I think everybody should try it. Don't, male, female, whatever. I'm not saying you got to be a state champion, or you cannot blame anyone but yourself. Like baseball, if I looked at you, like you're in center field, I'm in right field or left field, and it's a ball in between us, and then we looked at each other. Oh, I thought you were gonna get it.
No,
right?
You gotta get out of my way. I'm
too, right?
I don't let anything drop. Okay.
Right?
So if it does, that's okay.
Right? And so with wrestling, yes, it's a team sport per se, but when you're on the mat, it's just you and your opponent, and you trying to literally take the will away from somebody. I don't even know how to explain it. For anybody who ever wrestled and like wrestled at it could be any level, especially at a higher level, just that feeling. And if somebody takes your will, hopefully it never happens, but it teaches you a couple things about yourself, right? A few things. It's either you fight or flight, right? And then, right? If some people get beat up in wrestling, then it changes the whole dynamic. Now you don't want to be proactive in anything. You're scared. You're timid. You know what I'm saying? Or you can use that as a lesson. How can I get better? How can I learn?
That's life, bro.
Exactly.
That's
correlations
life.
to it. And just like with life, right? If certain things, and it teaches you an attitude of like. So I have a saying: anything good that happens is because of me, and anything bad that happens is because of me. So it keeps me accountable.
Accountability,
right? And that's just my mindset. So if it's something that goes wrong. Some people have no grades. I don't hear it, but I have no grades. Right? Because I try to live very stress-free as possible with that, and that really helps me. So if it's a disagreement, if it's something that we didn't see out of, what could I have done differently, right? And if it's something super positive, still, how can I continue this in a positive way? So
for sure. What about y'all on this side?
Man, I play my game. I read, I cook, but I would say for me. The approach I take is, so especially like with reading, I'm always trying to learn something new. Especially being in sports performance, I always try to learn something new. Look up new trainings, not new trainings, but new studies regarding this, new studies regarding that. And then seeing how whatever plan I put out for whatever athlete I'm dealing with, no matter what the sport is, seeing how that can be applied to them and seeing how that will benefit them or is going to help them or is going to make them regress. So I try to maintain more so on the science side of whatever I put out when it comes to training people, right? And the game I just been playing because, you know, just be there. I just been playing Call of Duty. But like for the last month and a half, I've really been off of it, trying to like refocus myself. And then even with the cooking stuff, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I made this like 3 weeks ago. I made something 3 weeks ago. I'm making it. How can I make it better than I made it 3 weeks ago?
Man, we might need a Coach Drew meal prep. What's good?
I mean, I can do it. I can do it. I do it all. So I do it all.
Hey, you heard it here first. You gonna drop it on the web? You gonna drop it on my website though? No, but what about you?
Me, I would say I like to focus on spiritual practices. It keeps me balanced. It's outside of my art and it's outside of me as a person. It's separate. Anything from learning about neuroscience to religion to anything regarding to spirituality. I like to dive deep into heritage of spirituality and history of spirituality. And I feel like in some sense I like learning about other cultures' spirituality. So it helps me to not only learn myself but learn other people around me. Feel me? And I feel like those things help me stay grounded because I realize everybody goes through their own phases of life and we kind of all progress in similar ways spiritually.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
That's real talk. What about you?
Like I said earlier, I love playing basketball. I feel like I love competition.
Welcome to Cali, baby. Now y'all know we are real. I know we in the studio, but we are in Cali, baby.
Where like Drew said too, though, I like reading. I like learning like more stuff. And one thing too I'm big in is like watching interviews. Like I love like watching interviews online, hearing people talk, how their experiences and how they can relate to me or how like they got through certain situations and family time.
Yeah,
I'm big on family. Like, I love like even more so when I'm older because everybody go their separate ways. Like, I appreciate the family time a lot more. So like
that's huge.
As often as I can, I try to be around my family.
Man, that's extremely huge, bro. Me, I'm just an artist. Everything. I try to just be as creative as possible. Trying things outside of the box. Trying new things. Constantly putting myself in a position to have to learn. I think that's what the best. Like, kind of like throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what stick. But what you throw on the wall, just taking that time to make sure that it's actually something. You know, and as an artist, you value your art more than anybody else. More than a price tag. More than anything. So as an artist, anything that you do throw out there, it is going to be something, right? And it's just about if everyone else sees it that way, the same way, you know, now it comes back to the communication, right? So art is something that I do.
No, and I think what people, you know, a lot of people have this misconception, like life itself is an art form. You know what I'm saying? An interaction. So like for me, traveling and just human interaction. So I've been told by you and countless other people the gift of gab, but for me, I'm really intrigued by people, right? Like I'm so happy with myself, and I'm always learning something about myself. So I'm intrigued, like with just interacting with people, right? Whether it's something that you may deem negative or positive, it's always a learning lesson, like you said, and learning. And for me, learning is key. And I think being around just different situations where and stepping outside your comfort zone. Like right now, I'm 1,500. Oh no. Math is off. I'm 3,000 miles away from my house, and it's amazing. I'm comfortable, and I'm in my other home now. My other family. You know what I'm saying? And so here we are. So just that's just it, man.
Right. So speaking of that, we got some artists in the house, and you cannot come to the BTR stage and don't put on a performance. So this person that's here to my left, he is an artist, and he can really, really sing. And like, I really want him to just freestyle something that he got, or like one of his something. Like, I'm putting him on the spot here because we talking about being uncomfortable, right? So I just want to see something. I just want to see something. So, I mean, he goes by the name of Jared. You know, he got music on all platforms. You know, let's get it. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. I actually I have a track out right now. It's called Press Start. It's my EP. First track I ever put out. It was birthed out at Hotel 228. Shout out Hotel 228.
Shout out the gang.
And it's a song I made called Moment, and it was right after my mom had passed from COVID. Is when the song really started giving birth to remembering to stay in your moment. So it goes like, the lyrics go. You have to live it like you have to own the night. Shine through the night and fight moments of dreamy eyes. You got to live it like you got to own the night. Fight through the night and cry Moments of dreamy eyes. Live in this moment.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Live in this moment. Living life. Live in this moment. Go check it out, right?
Hey, y'all better live in this moment right now. Y'all can be anywhere, but y'all here with us tonight, man. Nobody doing it like this. This is real, authentic, live, revolutionary. People told me to change the name, but everybody is revolutionary in their own way. And so, like, no, I'm not changing the name, and because y'all told me to change it, that means I'm really not gonna change it because I'm an artist and I'm gonna make it look real, real good. If it was negative things before, then we about to change the culture and make it positive because that was just amazing.
Man.
Man.
What up, guys? How y'all doing?
Let them know who you are, Mr. Price.
Is Mr. Price, Mr.Pryce, because it's about the Y, not the I.
Ernie.
And I just feel honored to be here, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Man, thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah.
Man, I want to tell y'all something about this guy right here. Come on, Ernie.
No,
Yeah, one more special guest.
Our host of the last year, BTR
2 years in a row.
Man.
Mr. Winnie City Revolution Savage. But so we was just bringing Price in too. I want to let y'all know Price is performing at the Be the Revolution Award ceremony. So it's gonna be a movie. So tell them a little bit about, you know, how you started making music and how you got to Cali.
So I started making music through sports. I was playing football in the locker rooms. We bang on the lockers, freestyle, and I loved it. And I kind of fell in love with this, but I was kind of wrapped up in football. From there, I moved on to college. I had an injury, right? So I redshirted my first year. Still was grateful enough to get a scholarship. And then after that, I was in the room. I find myself making beats. Just closing the door, making beats, and just immersing myself in a whole different area. And I kind of got addicted to creating and birthing something from my mind and bringing it into reality, and then allowing other people to react with it and see it and materialize. So that's kind of the visionary process that I grew from there. And I also am spiritual too, you know, so I saw a spiritual aspect and all these different things that art could do and transform people's lives. So I felt like it was something meaningful for me to pursue.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Ernie, you came all the way from Chicago to Cali, you know, as a parent, right, to make sure that EJ was here to be a part of this event, you know. Talk about just from the parent aspect, the sacrifices that maybe someone else who's just getting started or just getting their kid active, tell us something about like just the sacrifices.
The biggest thing is making that sacrifice because you know the outcome of it, right? You can't succeed if you're not willing to put any skin in the game for anything. And with that being said, you're showing them that, hey, sometimes you got to sacrifice something that you really want for something that you got to see the bigger picture for them sometimes. And as a parent, everything is tough sometimes. But, you know, when you got an opportunity to be around good people and have your child enjoy or play something like this right here, like this silly game that we were talking about, it's a game. But, you know, it can be so much more because, like, a lot of people, we always think that a lot of people outside think that sports is just something that's you just do, right? You athletic, you run, you jump, but it's so much more because it creates friendship, it creates bond, it's trust, strategy, things that you're going to take to life experiences. That's the biggest thing right there that a lot of people don't realize, that sports, it's bigger than just a game, you know, and you hear athletes say it's bigger than that. And if you can teach your kid that now, like, hey, you can sacrifice, you can do something bigger than this, you can learn. But at the same time, if you're going to be good or you're going to be great, what's the decision? What are you going to do? You know, like they say, that's to get off the pot, right? You got what are you going to do? You know, so it's like kind of keep pushing them to do it. If they give you a glimmer of hope that they want to continue to do it, then you sacrifice what you can as a parent to do it.
Sure.
And that's really what it's all about. I keep trying to just show them like, hey, I want you to do it, but if you don't want to do it, I can't make you. All I can do is put you in the right position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that from everything, from the training, from playing and doing everything that you all do. You can do it. There's people that are pushing you, but if they're not pushing you, are you going to continue to do it, right? And so we want to make sure we continue to push, and it's always great to have somebody in your corner that's going to be behind you and push. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day.
It's environment, man, and if you're talking about environment, if you have to create the, as a parent, you have to create the environment for your child to be successful. Because you can give them all the skills, you can give them all the resources, you can give them all these things, but the moment that they're in an environment where it's not conducive for what they're trying to do, that's when things can get delayed, So as a parent, it's a sacrifice making a purchase to get them with the trainer, but it's also an investment. Because now, you may have to work a little bit more, a little bit harder, or try to make some things happen, but the environment that your child is in and that he's growing, like I want kids, I don't have any yet, but I want a lot of kids to be able to have an environment like this, right? My kids are going to learn so much when I'm not around from the environment. So being able to make those sacrifices to be there and to change that for your kid is, I commend all the parents that's willing to do that. So that's love right there. I want to know more about you. Tell the people about who you are, what you did, why you were successful, and just tell us a little bit more about your story.
Well, I'm from New Jersey. Did a lot of sports growing up, but I feel like baseball was like my best opportunity to like maximize my potential. I got a scholarship to go to Division II school, Bloomfield College. Worked hard, got good grades, but I wasn't good enough I don't think I was good enough to play at the next level. If I kept going, maybe I could have kept, advanced it, but I learned a lot playing baseball and life lessons in general, just about hard work and perseverance and how to be relentless and how to like set a goal and stay attached to it. And I just feel like baseball really changed my life, and I'm forever in debt to the game. I just feel like I just want to give back and help the younger generation learn what I wish I knew earlier, so it'll help them.
So what do you think that you needed the most in order for you to be to take that next step to a professional? Like, what do you think was missing in that?
I'll probably say that conversation you had earlier about professionalism.
Yeah.
I didn't carry that. When you want to be professional, you don't start being a professional when you become a professional. You're professional from when you're young, when you're an amateur. And so you take those habits and you keep building upon it. I feel like a lot of kids, they don't take the game serious. They don't take it. They say they're taking it serious, but they're not taking it serious. They're not in the cage 3 times a day. They're not in the weight room after practice. They're not taking more swings after they had a bad game. Like, they're not taking the game as serious as it should be taken. And I feel like if I did that earlier, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's back when I said earlier that the key to success is preparation. That's like a life thing. Like, I know if I want my profession, I'm trying to be in the MLB by the time I'm 19, no later than 22. So I know I gotta start preparing for that right now. Like, I know that my preparation for me playing in the league start right now. Like with the WCR baseball athletic department training for it. Like, I know I'm not training to hit no 70, 80 mile per hour fastball. I'm training to hit 95. I'm training to hit 98. You feel me? Like, so I know that I work for longevity, long-term stuff. So it's like, again, that all comes back down from like just me being fortunate enough with a great mom and dad that put me in a fabulous environment where it's like, it's just leading me in the right direction. Like, and I know at the motion and the rate that I'm going at right now, I know that if I just keep my head down, stay humble, and keep working, I know that only God can tell what's the future for me.
That's a fact. But the thing is, a lot of people don't have, especially at your age, they don't have that kind of mindset. You know what I mean? But that's what separates you at that age, because you've got that mindset to see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? And not get distracted and have the like the will to be a professional now, so you can keep building upon it.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of things. Like, I know, like, certain games are like, it'd be certain arms that I face and just hit horrible against. Like it could be small things. Like I know if I'm facing a guy, like if I'm like playing against, if I'm facing an arm that I know I can absolute like dominate, but I know like it's a different stage for me. Like if I know like my last game, I struck out two at bats in a row on two outside pitches. I know if this pitcher gives me an outside pitch, I'm not trying to crush it. I know that I need to take this ball the other way. And that's not for my tournament stat. No, that's for the long term. That's for when I'm in double A and who knows where playing ball trying to get to the league. Like I know that this outside pitch gotta be taken the other way. Word.
Wow, that's amazing. Do y'all hear how this? He's just turned 14. You know, and that's why, you know, me and his dad, shout out Big G, 5 Key Fitness. Well, that's why we do what we do. Because you have kids that realize that they want to be the best at a young age. But if you're telling them that no you don't, that's just a pipe dream, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that, well, you never get to even give them a chance to be that way. You know, so the biggest thing that I'm trying to paradigm shift parents with young kids, right, is that put them through it and let them make the decision if they want to do it, because it's kids that's 18 months that know what they want to do. And y'all may think that I'm crazy, but nah, like I can speak baby, right? Because their body language, they express certain things and they have certain interests, they just can't communicate it yet. Right? So if you just put a baby out there and their big brother or big sister is on that speed ladder or in that batter's box doing it the right way, that baby is gonna want to do that. And so now allow him to do it and stop saying, oh, you're going to get hurt or you're going to do this. Allow them to do that and keep them in that environment and see what happens. Because now you got something different when that baby turns 7, 8, 9, and they can start communicating and saying, okay, I'm serious about this.
Yeah, like it all just starts from the earlier age of preparing for when you want to get to the MLB. Like the earlier the better. You never start training too early. Ever. You can never start training too early.
Yeah, it's just a science to it.
My dad was mixing my baby powder with workout powder on the go since I came out the womb.
He knew what he wanted.
Real spill. And another thing, like I feel like parents don't get their kids a chance to like he said, just like take a risk. Like parents gotta understand that just like how a kid could say he wanna grow up and be a policeman, a firefighter, or a business owner, baseball is a profession. Like how you will enroll your kid in all these tutor sessions and get him 4 different teachers to teach him the exact same thing, like all that, like whatever your kid decide he or she profession is, then that thing requires the same amount of investment. If one of my kids say, "Oh, Dad, I want to be a business owner," then one of them tell me that I want to own a baseball, that I want to play baseball professionally. I know that they can get the same type of investment. I know that I'm a enroll this kid in classes that's like teaching them everything that they need to know, and I know that I got this son with the best trainers, playing with the best teams, like going places throughout the country, throughout the nation, throughout the world with the best baseball. Like I know just putting my kids in the best situation possible for whatever their future may be. Like we know, like in 10 years, somebody got to be on TV for the next generation to watch. Somebody got to be in a nurse suit. Somebody got to be a doctor. You feel me? So it's like, why prep them to do it badly, to do it poorly? Like, if you gonna do something, always be the best at what you do. Like, don't ever go into anything being like, oh, this, feel me? Like, oh, I'm just gonna bull job this and get it over with. Like, nah, if that's the case, don't do it. Like, what's the point? So you feel me? Just like, if you're a parent and your kid tell you that they want to play sports, don't look at it as a temporary satisfaction. Like, no, they trying to feed your great grandkids with this sport. You feel me? Like, it's not about it's like longevity. Like, you have to see the rest of your like family, the rest of your generations doing this.
Yeah, Price. How do you think that looks in the art world or the music world? Like, what does something like that look like? Because when you talk about art, like sometimes you can make really good art, but you don't even see the results from it till 10 years or 3 years later. You know, so like as an artist, how do you kind of mentally are able to continue to create, even if you might not be seeing something from it right away?
Great question, Primo. So the way that I personally do this is I dig deeper within myself to pull out new things. I feel like when I'm creating my art, the way I go about it, I have a process where I go in within, because I feel like if you go externally outside and try to create something, there's only so much energy that you can do. So it's about, for me, going within myself and discovering more about myself and translating that into my music. Because all I'm doing is conveying a certain emotion from my brain as clearly as artistically as possible into the medium's music. And once the music is created, then you're successful. You, by creating the music and putting it out there, is successful, no matter how people receive it or not. So that's how I define the success with it. Now, you got a whole bunch of different things, like, you know, reaching different types of levels. But what keeps you going pretty much is like knowing that there's an endless wealth supply of being able to go internally within yourself to be able to express yourself with that music.
I think being something that's super revolutionary is, as I think, me seeing into the future and seeing the good and the potential and just a lot of different people and everyone in this room, right? And especially this young man to my right. I hearing him dropping a lot of gems at his age right now, and I saw this for him. So, you know, it's times, and I feel like being having empathy and patience and kindness and real genuine love and wanting to see someone succeed more than myself, because I know I'm going to do well. I know I'm going to succeed, but I want to see them succeed more than I am, so then we're all in a very grateful position of power, right? And so, beautiful. Seeing my brother here, right? Envisioning him in sunny California. We spoke about this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, "You're gonna do it." And here we are. So
Yeah.
that's one of the. That's one.
Let's get it.
So to wrap it all up, revolutionary, to me, it's what everyone had said in the end. It's waking up every day, you know, making that choice and following through with those choices, right? Progressing, all right? Education, filling yourself out, being there for the next person, being genuine, seeing your vision out, even though it's the rough points, right? So that's the revolution right there. It's the constant progress from what was yesterday, right? So it's, as of today, what can I do better tomorrow to make my other tomorrow better? So that and everything just sums it all up. So it's just progress.
Man, well, I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody coming to the frame, man. Everybody to the frame, man. Everybody.
Greetings, everyone. This is the empowerment movement coming live at PRIMO